What's up guys, I'm James, and welcome back to the Great Gambino Watch Reviews. Today, we have something interesting and new for myself. We will be not only reviewing a watch, but I will be completely assembling it. Full disclosure, this kit was sent to me for free from DIY Watch Club, but I was able to pick out a watch style that I personally liked, and I will be giving my honest opinion based on that. The DIY Watch Club gives you everything you need to fully assemble your own piece. They have plenty of different varieties and types of watch parts to create a custom combination that fits your needs. In the past, I have tried assembling my own watch, but unfortunately, some of the parts were not compatible with each other. That's why I was excited to take this opportunity, because I know everything will work together perfectly, and there are easy step-by-step instructions on their website. If this project is something you are interested in doing for yourself, I will have a link to their website down below in the description. In addition, you can save 5% by using my affiliate code, THEGREATGAMBINO, which will also be listed down below. Opening the cardboard box reveals the kit. All of the tools and parts are packed inside of this zipped canvas style travel case that features the DIY logo patched on the front and a convenient handle at the top. Let's go ahead and look at the contents inside. As you can see, there are plenty of tools to take you through the entire process, such as screwdrivers, tweezers, a magnifying glass, an air blower to remove dust, a phone stand, rubber finger protectors to avoid smudging, a case back removal instrument, and various other tools that you will need and have at your disposal. Also included will be the parts needed to assemble this piece, all neatly kept in separate compartment holsters. Contents consist of a leather watch strap, the case, glass, crown, bezel, and bezel insert, as well as 3 other boxes that contain the dial, chapter ring, movement's hand, and the rest of the small parts. There are various kits that come with different combinations of tools. This is the one that they sent me, but definitely check the parts listed on the site to make sure you pick the right kit for you. I have even seen kits on their site that come with a butane torch to flame blue the hands yourself, which is a process that will get you a color similar to what you would find on the Grand Seiko Snowflake SBGA-211. The tools themselves seem to be of a high quality and will be good to hold on to for future use on watch repairs or modifications. The watch I chose to build was the model number DWC-D01 with the added sapphire crystal. I am going to cover aesthetics just like I do in every other review, and at the end of each part I will show and talk a little bit about that step in the build process. Our build time for this piece was around an hour and a half, but we probably could have finished it in about an hour if we were not dealing with film equipment and lighting. Nothing was overly complicated in the entire process, and I could say the hardest part was attaching the hands. But real quick, let's cover the measurements. We have a case width of 41 millimeters. Lug to lug is about 47.4 millimeters. If you want to change out the band, it's 22 millimeters. And we have a case thickness of 14 millimeters. The crown side is brushed with the company's D logo stamped, and it does have a decent coined edge. When screwed down, it should offer 200 meters of water resistance, assuming you have assembled everything correctly. Let's go ahead and hear what the winding function sounds like. While prepping to build, I put the rubber protectors on my fingers to hopefully avoid smudging any of the pieces. DIY also included a leather mat, which should be used to place parts on while building to prevent scratching. The first step is to remove the case back using the proper tool. I then remove the O-ring and chapter ring with the tweezers, setting them aside. It's now time to remove the NH35 movement from its plastic. You will notice it has a basic stem with plastic crown. We will be permanently removing that and replacing it with the official crown and stem. Removing the standing crown was pretty simple. The tutorial will show you the exact place to press down with the tweezers, allowing the stem to be easily removed. I found it helped to have a second person available to pull out the crown while I was stabilizing the movement and applying pressure. You are now clear to push and install the official crown and stem until you hear a click and notice you are able to wind the movement. The crown will remain installed and be used to set the movement for hand installation later. After you have completed that step, you will need to remove the crown once more before putting the arrangement into the case and then installing the crown for one final time. I think it is important for me to mention that I'm only giving keynotes of my personal build experience, and if you are putting together a watch yourself, you should rely on the DIY tutorial videos listed on their website. Looking close up at the bezel, this kit comes with a stainless steel blue insert that has a fantastic circular brush pattern which is very noticeable. The numerals are white and have Lume applied, which we will cover later in the video. But one of the things I really like is how 3 of the minute indicators just after the 3 o'clock position have been painted red, adding character and pop that also matches the water resistant text on the dial. The coined edge of this bezel has some decent grip and feels similar to the aesthetics you would find on a Submariner. However, if you do wish to change this up, there are other options on the website that can easily be swapped out with the tools included. Installing the bezel is probably one of the easiest steps because it has a ready-to-go adhesive back. I used the tweezers to remove the paper and expose the sticky surface. The only tricky part can be getting the bezel to line up perfect at the 12 o'clock. One small trick hack I've come up with is to loop a piece of Glide dental floss along the bottom. This way, if I do not get the 12 o'clock marking lined up perfect, I will have a simple way to swipe the dental floss around to release the bezel insert from the bezel, giving me multiple attempts at lining things up. But let's hear what turning the bezel sounds like. When you are picking out your kit and watch, you will have the option in most case scenarios to upgrade things like the movement and glass. For this particular kit, the glass was upgraded to a dome piece of sapphire crystal. In person while wearing the watch, I feel like I can tell it's sapphire because it appears to have that little bump in quality. The dome gives it a slight bit of distortion at extreme angles, which is kind of fun, and I'm not sure if there's any AR coating, but I can say the glare is minimal. Now, I did not have to install the glass myself, which I am very thankful for, but I did, however, use the blower tool to make sure and try to get as much dust out as possible before closing things up. The case is made of 316L stainless steel, and you will notice there's a stainless steel brush top portion to the lugs that connects to a high polished chamfered edge and proceeds to flow into the fully brushed case side. The lugs do curve down quite a bit, helping this piece fit comfortably around your wrist. Getting close in on the dial, the main color is chalkboard black with a matching black chapter ring. There are large arrow-shaped hour indices and a date window at the 3 o'clock. As we mentioned earlier, you get a tiny pop of red text indicating that the piece has 200 meters of water resistance, which nicely matches the hint of red on the bezel. There is a broad arrow hour hand and a stick arrow minute hand. The reverse side of the second hand has an additional arrow tying it all together. I like this style of handset as I feel it is easy to read and loosely reminds me of the hands you will find on something like a Seiko Monster or Samurai. Placing the dial was pretty easy. You simply match up the pins into the proper holes and apply gentle but firm pressure. Once I felt it was properly secured, I used the magnifier in combination with the dust blower to remove particles as best as possible. When it comes to the hands, DIY generously provides you with 2 sets in case you have issues and need a second shot at installation. This is very convenient because, as I said earlier, it's the most difficult part of the build process. I recommend taking your time thoroughly watching the tutorial and using the magnifier to get a perfect level adjustment. I want to point out that I did have my wife help me install the minute and second hands as she has a steadier touch. Once you have the hands applied and you have tested to make sure they are working properly with the movement and date change, you can now add the chapter ring back in its proper position and install everything into the case. Take a minute to make sure it lines up correctly before inserting the crown. Assuming you are happy with how everything rests in the case, you will now need to add back your O-ring gasket to ensure water resistance. Now simply screw down the display case back with the tool provided until it is nice and snug. I do appreciate that this kit comes with a display case back, as you are going to want to be able to see and show off the movement on the piece that you put together yourself. The movement inside of this model is the Seiko NH35. It's a 24 joule movement that has automatic and manual winding. It's hackable, vibrates at 21,600 beats per hour, and has a power reserve of around 41 hours. After wearing this watch for a few weeks, one thing I can say is that it keeps very good time, right up there with some of my much more expensive pieces. Another thing I would like to mention is that we have some text information stamped into the case back reading, assembled by hand, automatic movement, DIY watch club, the water resistance, 316L stainless steel, and an additional D logo. The model I picked comes with a very nice thick leather strap. It feels to be of decent quality, and I want to point out that it has quick release pins, so you will be able to switch out the strap very easily. On the reverse side, you have a robust buckle that has been brushed and stamped with the company logo. I most likely will be removing this strap, as I tend to not keep leather straps on my diver watches. Here's an example of the watch on a rubber Barton band strap. Switching it up once again, we can see how drastically the look changes while pairing it up with a purple and blue NATO from Blue Shark straps. But let's go ahead and take a look at the Lume. The hour indices, handset, and bezel markings are all treated with a generous amount of Super Luminova C3. DIY has added some fun by giving you two different colors, green on the handset and dial, combined with blue lume for the bezel. After wearing this watch many nights, I can say from my own experience that it starts out extremely bright, but you will lose much of that brightness after the first 15 minutes or so. However, you will still have enough lume to make out the time throughout the night. Here's a side-by-side shot next to an American quarter to give you a better representation of the scale. This is a shot on my 6.75-inch wrist. It's a watch with a 41mm width, but more importantly, with a lug-to-lug measurement of under 48mm, it will fit perfectly on many different wrist sizes, including my own. Here's what it looks like on the Barton band. And here's one additional wrist shot on the Blue Sharknado. But let's go ahead and take a look at the outdoor shots so I can show you that natural light reflection.
Gambino! Great Gambino!
Overall, now that this piece has been fully constructed and I have given it quite a bit of wrist time, I really do enjoy it. The measurements, the accuracy of the movement, and the way the bezel will change from a dark navy blue or black indoors to a deep blue color in the sunlight, which makes the brush pattern stand out. If you are new to watches, it helps you learn more about the internals to a watch and gives you a better appreciation for each piece. With things like aesthetics and quality aside, if you are the type of person that likes to build a complex Lego kit, put together a puzzle, or even build a lightsaber at Disney, and happen to be a fan of watches, I feel this is something you will truly enjoy, and at the end of the day you will have a watch that you are able to connect with in a special way. So, I want to give a special thanks to DIY Watch Club for considering my channel and sending me this kit. I will have a link to their website down below. Thank you for watching this video, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the next one.